PSA, 20 years from now, the only people who will remember that you worked late are your kids. One of my best ever managers used to say this often. He actively discouraged overwork. My old boss told me this. I've missed so many birthdays, plays, and events for work, and I can't even tell you why. I don't remember what I was working on. I can't tell you why it was important, but I can tell you how my not being there made my kids feel. Don't be like me. My old boss once told me, the graveyard is full of irreplaceable and important people. I think a lot about that. The boss will forget you worked late the second you walk in 3 minutes past 9 o'clock. I used to work with a guy who would camp out at the shop Monday through Friday. Went home for weekends. Got divorced. His kids grew up, but he doesn't even know them. Your tombstone will not say, beloved employee. Family over work. What's the point of all the money if you have no time for loved ones? I did more than 30 years working all over the world in stupid long hours. Sometimes not home for 2 months. It got me divorced twice and kids not happy when I wasn't there for school plays. Sports days or taking them out. I make a far better granddad than I ever was a father. Although it has worked out well, I can't recommend what I did. This is one of those, it depends, things. I have worked without sleep entire weekends to fix roads and bridges so people can get home to see their kids alive. They will never know who I am, and that does not matter. My kids understand and respect that. I have laughed in the faces of bosses who ask me to stay late to finish a report on Friday night for a client who will never see it until Monday morning. Fuck that. My kids are more important than your invoice. There is nothing wrong with working late or overtime or on your own time. But your time has value, and there is an opportunity cost to spending your time on a task of less value. Use that time wisely and matter as a person. God, humane managers really are the best. My dad was always working, and he died in his office. My father's life was defined by work, and I refuse to live my one life the same way. Joke's on you, I can't afford to have kids. My dad never went on vacations with us, never attended my competitions, and never hung out with us. Then, at the end of the year, he'd get in trouble for having too much vacation time. It's not like I'm bitter or anything. When one of my sons was in grade 1, they had a class school play. I'll never forget the look on his face when I saw him scanning the crowd looking for me when it was his class's turn to sing the song. And then he finally found me in the gym and we locked eyes. Don't miss these events if you can. Find a way. Sure, it might seem a bit dumb and boring, but the kid will never forget not seeing you in the crowd. The Cat's in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon can confirm. My father did 12 hours per day and weekend work all my life. He's been an absent dad and I resent him for that. I still have a somewhat okay relationship with him, but I'm not close to him at all. I wished he played Nintendo with us back when I was 5 years old. I wished he would play ball with us when I was 8. I wished he would do stuff with us. But instead he would work 80 hours per day each week. He's been saying he'd retire for 10 years now, and even though he works about 40 hours per day nowadays, he still haven't been doing a lot of things with us. Even on weekends. I did have some good vacations with him. But other than that, he's been absent. So to other parents, be there for your kids. They will remember the good times and bad times. Joke's on you. I can't afford to have kids. Working overtime is such a weird flex. Lol kids, right, in this economy. And for us child-free peeps, here's who else will remember it. Your spouse, your family members, your friends, and you. When I got out of the Navy, I got temporary work on the docks with a defense contractor. As many former sailors do, it was hard work and the hourly rate was low. But I worked a lot of overtime and made decent money. After a few months of this, the site supervisor offered me a full-time job. However, I was hesitant because the pay rate was the same low hourly wage. "Don't worry about it," he said. "You can work OT as much as you want. I work 7 days a week. And rake it in." He even said that he'd made enough to buy a house last year. Following an intuition, I asked him when he'd last seen his house. The job involved working at Navy bases all over the world. His response? 4 months ago. He hadn't been home in 4 months. His girlfriend lived there alone most of the time. Is it any wonder he often arrived in the morning reeking of booze? Reader, I kindly thanked him for the job offer. And when my temp contract ended, I moved on.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Heracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.